Hello, everyone. Welcome to Great Northern Instore's webinar on home improvement for this spring 2020. As a few people continue to log in here as we cross the top of the hour, I'll get started with a couple of introductions just to get the ball rolling. First off, Great Northern Instore, for those that don't know, is a leading producer of retail merchandising vehicles, displays ranging from temporary corrugated vehicles all the way to permanent merchandisers made out of wood, metal, wire, etc. Our mission as a company is helping our customers win by doing what others can't or won't. This is part of that. This webinar series is definitely here to help our customers see what is happening at retail, the latest trends, and with some actionable insights of how we can really apply some of these learnings to really help brands stand out at retail. A couple of quick things with the webinar is it should be about 45 minutes all told. There is a question section on the GoToWebinar tool, so please, if something pops into your head while I'm talking, type it in there. I'll try to tackle as many of these questions as I can if time permits. If not, I'll definitely reach out and get back to you to answer anything that I possibly can. Also, you'll get an email following up later this afternoon thanking you for attending. If another question comes to mind, please don't hesitate to respond to that email. Also, any feedback that you have would be much appreciated. And finally, you can respond to that email to get any of the content from today as well. So that way you don't have to be scribbling like crazy for some of the statistics, or if there's an image that really rings a bell with you, please don't hesitate to request that. Okay, let's dive in quickly. We've kind of already taken care of the introduction. We'll give a little overview of the industry, what we've seen as winning at this retail environment. And we're going to talk about product, expertise, and experience. And as well, at the end, we'll highlight a few spring seasonal things. But I will say there's a lot of images and spring pieces that are all mixed into winning in this retail environment. So with that, let's jump in to discuss a little bit about the health of the industry. And top line, it's been doing very well. You can see on this chart here briefly, the major trend is upwards, the gray line being the spending and the yellow bars being the percentage growth here in the US. Home improvement spending has really been great. And interestingly, for an industry that normally struggles during bad economic times, and you can see that in 2007, 8, and 9 with the last recession, the current situation caused by COVID is not putting a damper on spending. In fact, it's been a bit of the opposite. First off, COVID really hit more of entry-level homeowners or renters. A lot of those lower-end service jobs in hospitality, restaurant business, food service, and all is what took a lot of the hit. So not as many homeowners in that bracket. And those that were impacted by COVID in the higher brackets, a lot were ending up going to work from home, which really then added the impetus. Since they're home a lot more, maybe I should fix it up a little more, make it a much more pleasant environment. And obviously from a macroeconomic perspective, low interest rates have kept the ability to get money easy. A lot of the stimulus packages We're also out there helping fuel this, fuel the economy in this area. And in general, we saw in 2020 a move of spending from various leisure activities, going out to eat, going on vacations, to I'm fixing up my home. We're quarantined, we're locked down, we're staying here. I'm spending my money in this area, which has all led to these great growth rates. To just also quantify the size of this, the home improvement channel, the home centers are $250 billion annually in the US, hardware $62 billion. So all told, talking hardware stores and home centers, we're over $3 billion or $300 billion, excuse me. And with some projections really continuing to see this grow to nearly approaching $500 billion by 2025, according to some experts, depending on who you read up on. So again, a very strong industry growing. Some of that's also going to be from some of the pricing pressures that are going to be occurring, but a lot there. A few other reasons, and just to comment, kind of some fun facts. In today's environment as well, home prices are appreciating, helping people wanting to invest and make the most of their investments in their home, and also potentially not as much wanting to move if these prices are moving up and et cetera. Maybe I'm going to stay and fix up my existing place if it's close to my work in a great school system for my kids. And why all this thought about improvement, and some of these facts are kind of astounding. 80% of US homes are at least 20 years old. 40% are at least 50 years old. So again, needing to be refreshed, renovated. And also, millennials are now entering the home market. They are buying homes. Obviously, a large segment of the population that's moving in and starting to buy homes and invest in them. A few other thoughts about the drivers of the market and some DIY trends. And this is from a Flip Home Improvement survey, a few quick percentages for what they're reading is going to happen here in the spring of 2021. And as they surveyed people in January this year, they found that 3/4 of households across the US and Canada were planning at least one home improvement project this spring. Nearly 80% were going to plan to spend at least $100 to $5,000 for indoor projects. And more than 60% were planning to spend up to $500 on outdoor renovations. So again, a lot of people looking to continue to refresh, renovate their homes indoors and outdoors. And Flip found the #1 purchase factor is quality. And they found from that people wanted to see the products in person. So as long as it's safe, the majority are going to make their purchases in store so they can evaluate the products that they're buying. Another aspect just to kind of consider and is just who the shopper is. And in Home Depot and Lowe's, a significant percentage of those shoppers are professionals. More in Home Depot, as you see on this chart, compared to Lowe's. But in both cases, the professional is a key segment, particularly for Home Depot, that needs to be considered in developing merchandising vehicles to win in this retail environment. So, getting in, how do we win? And there's 3 areas that we'll talk about: product, expertise, and experience. Starting with product, and it is having the right product in these home centers for consumers to find and buy. And it starts with innovation, thinking of what are those new products that can be out there, brought to their minds. I mean, that is going to make them want to pick that item up. It's the overall assortment. we're seeing, particularly in all of these channels, how home improvement centers and hardware really expanding and driving that assortment to push their growth forward. And we'll show you some examples of that. So many brands that may not think that they're right for these channels should think again. And also, in a very competitive category, what are exclusives that can make each retailer stand out compared to its competition and not be in a fight for the lowest price? So I think we're all familiar, but definitely the grilling area has become huge in all of these retailers: Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, Ace, etc., and making a lot of investments in that area as people are renovating their homes outside. Why not get the latest grill to put on your brand new deck or patio? And it's not just the grills themselves, but all the accessories, including all the very smart accessories. Here's this great permanent display from Weber Merchandising, some of their latest and greatest thermometer devices that can smartly tell you when your food is ready. It's moving into beverage containers, a whole Yeti section at Ace with some of their slick merchandising. Again, all driving that extra purchase for that homeowner. And even into things like personal care items. Again, at Ace, a Duke Cannon end cap with all of their very manly soaps and personal care items about cleaning up after you've accomplished the job, and being that very original, manly, masculine brand. And as well, made in the USA, quality, all these various things that as a retailer Ace wants to stand for as well, but bringing it into an entirely different category. Kind of cool that they make the entire display look like a workbench. And even into electronics. So here's a couple of examples from DeWalt moving into wireless earphones for the job site. So again, it's moved from even just the safety earmuffs into literally wireless earphones. And here I'm showing both. DeWalt has both their temporary corrugated version of this display, as well as even already rolling out a permanent metal display, prominently highlighting the lifetime warranty. And it's not just brands like DeWalt, the tool brand, but even SoundMates, selling again wireless stereo earbuds, in this case at Home Depot. So thinking about all the various accessories that someone on the job that's working on a home improvement project is going to want, even into personal headphones. Again, grills, we talked about this. I think this is an opportunity, new called out here for this insulated blanket. Probably could have been even called out bigger and bolder. In this case, it's on the Lowe's Style Guide header. But again, highlighting innovation, something different that the shopper is going to turn their eyes towards and say, oh, that is new. Let me check that out. We know that the home improvement centers have gone into cleaning supplies and really set out planograms, but again, starting to see them even put permanent fixtures in secondary locations for these products now. So as you're buying bath items, there it is, a permanent display with an assortment of products that will help you clean those bath items. By the way, going back to this, I wanted to also highlight the flexible nature of this display, the different shelf heights, the ability, even widths as well, and able to move and planogram them around for different product assortments that come out as new innovations come out, or as they see different productivities occur, or if this same display is placed in another location and may have a different product assortment mix. and even into fun. This is Menards. Again, they sell and they do a lot with food, candy, confectionery, and not just plain merchandisers, but even this fun M&M's side cap that really brings the brand to life. So don't hesitate to bring a different product in a fun and in their way that they merchandise at these channels. A newer product, all the various LEDs. In this case, this new light bulb that, boy, is brighter than the sun to highlight, your garage or basement or work area. But I put these two next to one another, both competing products at different retailers, but just thinking about how you bring them to life, how the shopper can easily navigate what is on that quarter pallet, the benefits and features of going very complicated on the left or keeping it much more simple, easier to read on the right, and thinking about that as you're preparing your merchandising and your messaging. More clothing, workplace workwear by Milwaukee, highlighted here at a Home Depot. Merchandiser, again, flexible with various different racks, hooks, ways to hang the product and merchandise it that allows the store to flex as appropriate, but also highlighting a very different product line that's driving growth in these channels. And of course, COVID times, masks. Why not? Why wouldn't the home improvement channel try to take advantage of masks they're selling at a ring of from $13 to $15, of course, particularly for the work site, etc. But also just some of the different ways of merchandising. Of course, you have the plain dump bins, more economical, but then also on the right, these masks in their own slots to more cleanly merchandise each individual package, make it easier to get at, reach, and shop. And it's done just with some simple corrugated cutouts in the base of each shelf. The next area, expertise. Shoppers, DIYers are coming to these stores. They may know, they've watched the shows on TV, they're understanding what they want to do, how they'd love it to look in the end, but how do I get to there is always a challenge. And Ace definitely is one in this area where they've been rated the highest in customer service and knowledge. In general, it goes with their tagline. So in some of their stores, they've even gone to the extra mile of really creating these helpful hubs, great merchandising, calling it out, getting it easy for their shoppers to see. Again, come to this centralized location, speak with an associate. They even have a great list of the various things that they can help out with here, making it as easy as possible. And when a person is not there, Ace, the helpful place, has some key signage using a variety of hangers and apparatus, in this case in the sandpaper area, to help you understand which is the right product to do your job. The other whole area is into services. So again, great that you come in, you're looking for that great garage door opener. In this case, Home Depot, calling it out very clearly. I know it's kind of covered by their aisle tag there, but it's let us install it for you. This area is beautifully done. Great backlit signage to highlight the options. And again, this service offering to complete the job for the shopper. More Home Depot, in this case, again, in the carpeting area, again, highlighting free carpet installation is part of the entire package. I kind of would have liked the different contrast. The white on that light green isn't exactly that bold and is easy to see, but they're calling it out, the range of services that can differentiate them. And the grill area, the same thing. Free assembly, free delivery, called out right there above all of these grills several times So that way you can be assured this large grill will make it home. You don't have to try to wrestle it and wrestle yourself and get it into your vehicle, and it'll be assembled for you, ready to go and grill up that great meal tonight. Attractive presentation and experience are next. Someone's coming into these stores. These are big, big stores, or just a lot of items or SKUs in these stores in an Ace Hardware or True Value, for instance. It just makes it really intimidating for a shopper to come in and get what they want. So you need to really highlight and communicate to the shopper how to navigate and how to find the product that they're looking for to achieve the result they want. We're all very familiar with the color coding that is done in these channels. You know, merchandising tools particularly does this very well. The yellow for DeWalt, the red for Milwaukee, the yellow, neon yellow for Ryobi. But beginning to see from some of the plain quarter palettes, you start to see this here in this Ryobi one, some additional tools to help navigate the offers, showing the product out of package on an image there. So you can kind of see, yes, the packaging is there, but if you kind of scan at that header that's a little bit closer to eye level and see exactly what you want, you can more quickly find the box that you're looking to put into your cart. And also carry it into even secondary locations, in this case, Milwaukee, in with the plumber's equipment and piping, having some of the tools there and bringing that red color into that side cap here to, again, really tie that brand really nicely. And it's not just tools. Gorilla does it very well with this consistent orange and Gorilla image on their quarter palettes, whether it's tapes, glues, etc., throughout the store to really resonate with the shopper. Here in Menards, red, again, color coding for Liebman, but I just found this set remarkable in all the various pieces put together to really organize this mops, brooms, and cleaning set. Really slick to just keep it easy to shop and merchandise a lot of product in a tight area and still also communicate the features and benefits of the different tools. You can see that next to each broom, there's an info panel describing exactly the benefits of that particular model that's sitting right next to the info panel. Also, from a printing aspect, they even took the slight detail, and it does show in this picture, the matte gloss background with the logo. So it's red for their branding, but they even have their logo in there subtly as well. Now moving into just some other general merchandising, and apologize if any Roundup people are on the call. You know, just two separate activations. Of course, Roundup, a very well-known brand, but you could be basic and simple white, or again, utilize some of the space. Use that for branding like Spectracide does on the left side of this slide. Zepp, again, we all know Home Depot does the giant end caps. In this case, that bold, just calling out the promotional pricing. Thank you, simple. I thought the barrel on the right was really cool. It looks old school. That's kind of holding some of their refill containers there as well, that for spray bottles. So really pretty cool. And then diving into it further about experience, it's letting the shopper experience the product so they can explore it, see it. Again, many of these are pretty big investments, and they want to make sure they're getting what is right for their home or the right tool to do their job. This great end cap at Home Depot is the Decking and Railing Solution Center. Really calls it out from afar with the gigantic banner header. But then Inside of it is got a variety of samples so you can very clearly see, touch, feel the different options that are available to you, as well as in the center, a bit of a planning tool to help you get to that step and move towards accomplishing the backyard of your dreams. Maybe less of experiencing the product, but again, calling out that whole center shark bite, highlighting this plumbing tool that can be utilized as you're retrofitting piping, putting in new piping with these push to connect fittings. Again, great bold color, supersize image, and some key icons that really help the shopper quickly get why this is the product they should buy. Here at Ace, they're really doing a great job allowing the shopper to engage with these various grills. In this case, the big green egg section here, the grill, all the various accessories, etc. You can open it up, check it out. Again, this is an investment, so it's letting the shopper understand the product very well, just right there with them to understand, is this the thing I want to bring home and put on my deck? Also an Ace for Ego, various lawn equipment actually placed on some AstroTurf lawn to kind of create that experience. You can see the product, etc., but giving it the overall experience of just being there on the store floor. These are a couple other examples from Ace that I really like, being a smaller size store, not a lot of room, but ways you can still merchandise the product and get the product out of package for the shopper to touch and feel it. In this case, in the locks, they're all pegged up there, but you can actually, they have this extension and this rotating piece that has examples on both sides, so you can kind of get the sense of the finish and hand feel of all these units. In this case, again, for these various light replacement bulbs, whether it's fluorescent or in this case LEDs, there's that space there. You can still easily get the product in or out, but they've utilized that to put a quick informational panel to highlight the benefits of upgrading to LED. Lighting. This is something that is a trend we've noticed really entering retail. I'll say at first a lot in the consumer electronics categories, and you definitely see it a lot there. But boy, as we audited home improvement stores, a lot of lighting as well, really starting to come more and more into the environment to really highlight key categories, key brands, particularly in some of the big boxes, which can be a little bit, some of the bays can get dark. In this case, here's an Ace, really with the whole steel set. I mean, beautifully done. The lighting really helps everything pop. Not only the brand, so you can see this from afar, but as well, once you get upon the product, everything is well lit to really help you inspect and check out the equipment. Again, typically see it in a lot of the home centers, lighting on some of the tools, but again, starting to see some backlit panels as well. In this case, Menards, even using lit branding in the appliance area. Again, another area that all of these centers have really taken advantage of, the driving this product line to get more growth out of their channel. The paint section, of course, makes a lot of sense to have lighting here so you can clearly see the samples. This is a great Dutch boy display in Menards that just showcases everything very clearly, but then they even have a light box to just be able to look at the samples very close up in the light box under appropriate lighting. And also, interestingly, we're seeing a little bit more video creep into home improvement as well. So in Ace, this Bona end cap, well lit, but also a video player, nothing fancy, just mounted there to highlight some of the benefits of these products. Another example for Traeger grills with the push button activation to highlight where the shopper can learn more about the grills and the accessories. And Rust-Oleum, again at Menards, this beautiful display, but in the middle center panel there, you can kind of see it with the two push buttons, is a video player to highlight how-tos, benefits of the different products, etc. For the Rust-Oleum line. Zinsser here, a beautiful paint end cap. And as you can see down the left side of it are 3 video players that were all synced up to play simultaneous content and really create, again, just a wow effect. It drew you into this end cap, provided additional education and information around Zinsser Smart Code. A few garage door applications again. In this case, I just love the calling out of best, better, good in this case, starting from the top at eye level and then moving your way down. I also like the angling of the merchandising here, the samples. It allows you to kind of get some different angles in and some additional products on display rather than just being plain flat. Taking advantage of some additional space here and making it a bit easier to see from down the aisle and attract attention and draw a shopper in. This was a pretty cool display by Chamberlain. It actually has a working model. So you see again, helping the shopper go from good, better, best and understanding the features of those different units. But as you can see on the right in the center of the slide there, that's a working unit with a push button. So you can really hear, and that was probably one of the biggest parts of it, the difference of how quiet that particular garage door opener was on this little mini garage door. It was really cool. And they also, down by that end cap, had a video player as well to highlight additional information. Really, just a phenomenal display, a lot of investment in here, but again, for a fairly high-priced item to really drive and help the shopper navigate and find the right unit, it did a great job of closing that deal. Simple stuff. I know when you go down into the electrical area, there's typically a lot of the samples out, and that's great. So as a shopper, you can quickly navigate all those tiny bins by trying to pick out which is the right unit that you see hung on the shelf. In this case, this is a nice racking system that Lowe's has put together. But I also liked on this one the call out of some of the key icons. So not just the unit and the price, but just above it, all the way on the left side, you see the USB charging call out. Again, if you probably weren't looking for that, if that wasn't there, probably tougher to notice on that particular electrical outlet to realize those 2 slots were there in this sea of electrical outlets, so they call it out. In this case, Windows, highlighting the unit, having it out of pack, someone can see it. I've seen other examples that are great that literally show a cut through so you can see the layers, the insulation, and et cetera, the values that brings. But this unit was pretty cool in that it's actually on hinges. So that way it's there, but you can easily move it out of the way to shop the product behind. Obviously, this is a large product, probably getting some help from an associate, but it's a great idea to potentially utilize even with smaller products in other spots where you can have the unit or the information there, but it slides or hinges out and allows you the shopper to still access the shelves. Seasons, and springtime is a huge season for this channel. without a doubt, in the past, Lowe's and Home Depot have both run spring Black Friday events. Um, Although calling it Friday, I'm putting that in air quotes, is a bit of a misnomer because they would typically run these programs over several weeks, even up to a month, with a variety of offers cycling in and out. But key traffic driving time of year, as homeowners are getting back outside, trying to get their yards back up to snuff, and entering home improvement stores to pick up those tools. This is the time where, without a doubt, these retailers, this channel is pushing that further by giving offers, deals, as well as showcasing the entire portfolio of products that really can make springtime that time to get your entire house up to speed, clean, ready to enjoy in the summertime. Now, last year, that was a bit of a challenge because obviously with COVID, nobody wanted to drive traffic into the stores just from a safety perspective with the limitations there were with capacity, et cetera. Some programs were run, some weren't last year, trying to minimize that and figure out what to do. Well, this year it began again. Without a doubt, Home Depot is driving a variety of springtime programs and offers that definitely drove shoppers to the store or to the website to order. And Lowe's really went all out, calling it Spring Fest 2021, and really utilizing this theme throughout the stores. You saw it just permeate all of their point of sale marketing at the store to connect shoppers with their online, social media, advertising, etc., and connect all the dots right to the offers and products in the store. Of course, springtime is huge with grass, getting lawns. This is a Scott's display and a few things that just, to me, popped. Again, they used a great job of contrast here. Without a doubt, on the front, highlighting bare spot repair, but I also on that side was the everything you need. Just kind of draws you in, and then without a doubt, also guaranteed. Did a great job with contrast to really bring those to life and pop. And then once you get drawn in, you see the trusted brand as you begin to shop these quarter pallets. This was a fun display at ACE, kind of an ACE program, but supported by several of the grill manufacturers. But this whole lug-on burger that makes your mouth drool and draws you into the whole grilling section. So kind of taking it that next step of, great, you could show all the grills and they're all out there, but boy, here's the payoff that just makes your mouth water. For these lawn tools by Husqvarna, one of the things I'll say that, and I'll touch on this a little bit in the remaining 5 minutes, it's putting some measurable claims out there. And I was actually surprised that I kind of scanned all the photos that we brought in. Some exist. This is an example of it, of just calling clearly out that extended warranty and the 5 for the 5-year, without a doubt, helps pop and provide that quick, a shopper assurance. So as they're in there making purchase decisions and trying to understand, should I buy this? Do I want to pull the trigger on this one or the competitor next to it? And, again, highlighting a key point of differentiation that's measurable, quantifiable is key. In this case, Husqvarna calling that out boldly again. And I love them using the, obviously their orange, which is their color, but then using the complementary color blue, where it just pops the orange right off of it. Here for Pit Boss, I had to smile at this one a little bit. That obviously, again, unit out of pack, as you see in any of these home improvement stores. In this case, it's a Lowe's. You see all the grills there, but Pit Boss put theirs on a platform. So it stands up. You're not having to look down into this thing. It's right there. One is it gives it an advantage of height and stands out from anything else in this whole department. And then secondly, the information is right squarely in front of you as you engage with this demo unit. So really cool of how they were able to do that and work that out with Lowe's to help them stand out, as well as, again, just making it easy for the shopper to read the features and benefits of this unit. So really well done on this, great metal floor stand that they put together. It just is looks tough and looks really on brand and brings the whole thing to life. We're all very familiar with the various seed displays that are out there in the market. And I had this, like this Fairy Morse one. In this case, it spins, so you can easily walk around it or rotate and spin it around. I had to like this one, though. This was a big display. And again, instead of just putting all of their units together, which they do, they have here a basic unit that's stocked with the different seeds and different assortments. But they, in this case, built this all together and were very thoughtful about it. They definitely use some navigational tools like those aisle violator blades in there to really highlight vegetables. On the other side, it highlights the flowers or the organic on the other side. They also added some of these other pieces for the shape, those wedge pieces that provide a little bit of additional attention-grabbing power with the pictures of the sunflowers and also information on those side panels. So they really were thoughtful and mindful about not just the simple, oh, let's take this and let's put our base units all together, but let's use some great navigational tools and informational tools to build this entire train together. A few other fun ones. I'll say the kids gardening kits, organic grow kits, that whole idea, particularly COVID times, a great idea of an entire project with kids at home and thinking about that. I also love the giant imagery, both on the elephant ears, which shows the giant elephant ears, I should say jumbo to echo what they're exactly communicating. And then in the kids gardening, again, showing the payoff of the kids there on that side panel. Couple other quick ones. Again, simple, easy, but the whole almost crated wood for the Lowe's Easy to Grow, the various products there for edible gardens. Just a very simple merchandiser, but robust, does the job, and as well kind of connotates that whole garden raised bed thought and feel. And then finally in this area is this cool little merchandiser at Lowe's, put together to drive that secondary placement without, again, taking up any space from the existing merchandising of those shelves where all the plants are. The plants can be all merchandised all under that. And this sits right above and holds the plant food, which is going to help the plants grow and bloom all the more. As we close out our last couple of minutes, I just have a couple other spring fun images. One is secondary placement. Secondary placement command has a great job here in a Lowe's, in an area where all the various electronic items to set up your smart home or wiring or cabling. And here again, there's their command strips. Again, not taking up any space, but just sitting on the divider pole from the bays. That just, there it is, taking advantage of that space. This is Hostess, actually in grocery, but I love this whole idea of pick a spring favorite. Why not treat yourself? Springtime again. So here we go, but it's just kind of tying it in quick, simple, nothing complicated about this, but again, brings a bit of the fun to this, brings a bit of a different element, helps get the placement, helps the shopper want to make that last impulse. Sun care already getting out there, in preparation for summertime. But as I mentioned, especially personal beauty care uses a lot of great claims like #1 trusted. So in home improvement, I'd say the same thing. There's an opportunity there to drive more of that in the merchandising to really close the sale. And the final picture I have is this great Sally Hansen one. A lot of Easter type of displays, obviously in Walmart, Target, etc., grocery. This one was one of my fun ones, really in the shape of the egg with the cracked top and in this case, the color just popping out the top. So, really pretty cool, using a lot of great shape and super size. Again, a lot of that opportunity to bring some of that creativity into the home improvement area, particularly making spring as fun as possible. So, and I apologize, I think we've got a minute or two over here, but just to quickly summarize, this whole area of home improvement, tremendous growth happening, has happened last year, will continue, particularly as the economy pulls out of the COVID downturn that we just had, that's going to continue to drive investments in people's homes. How to take advantage of that? Product. Really think about what opportunities are there, highlight your innovation, highlight your exclusives, and think about other products that, I wouldn't have thought about originally, but could still be sold in these channels. Drive expertise. Help the shopper make the choice, highlight the features and benefits. And then finally, experience. As we saw in a lot of these, it's all about allowing the shopper to touch, feel, engage with the product. It's critical for them with these high value purchases. So it's all about creating that experience that they can try, test, feel, really see the samples of the products. So that way they know they're making the right decision and are willing to buy that product on the spot. And it's not just that, but as well, we talked a bit about the various key navigational tools as well. These are big box stores or stores with a lot of SKUs. It's helping them navigate, get to your product, find it, and then make that final choice. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I apologize that I did not have time to capture or answer any of the questions that were out there, but please, I'll respond to any that put in questions. If you have additional questions, don't hesitate to respond to the email you'll receive later this afternoon and provide any feedback. Thank you again so much for your time this afternoon. If you do have any challenges in this retail environment that you want Great Northern to take on, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks and have a great day.